You're funny.
Now I'm ready to
You're a
go.
comedian.
Wow.
Let me get started. I would have took a picture of the
So you said that there was only 4 people with properties?
Beautiful.
gorgeous. Okay. There may have been others who had property on the highway, but they were afraid to let the civil rights marchers stay on their property because they were afraid of repercussion and all that sort of stuff. And sure enough, my grandmother, she let them stay on her property. So about maybe about a month or two later, her store got burned up mysteriously.
The store and the house.
And the house. The store was attached to the house. So it got burned up mysteriously, but we all know
what happened.
Exactly. Those years, and so why would the store just burn down by itself?
Right. And she was like in her 70s then, wasn't she? And she lived
She was
to
in her
be
70s.
in her 80s after that. But she rebuilt the house. She didn't rebuild the store, but she rebuilt the house, and she lived there until she was in her 80s.
Wow.
But you know, one of the most remarkable things that she said, and it's recorded in these books and things, was she said, "I was not afraid." And it's like, to me, if you are afraid, you will never step out. You will never do anything because you're fearing your life. What are you afraid of? So if you're going to die for something that's worth something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But and I know my sister didn't touch on it, but this woman was one of the most generous women in the world. I mean, you could not go in her store without her slipping some money in your hands or putting it in your pocket. She had people who would come to her store. I mean, poor people, because, you know, down in that county, people were poor. They would come to her store and buy groceries. And she had what was called a running account. And she died with some of those people having not paid her. But she wouldn't just let people come to the store. She knew they needed food, and she would let them have it and have a running account. Now, my sister worked in that store because she knows firsthand how generous our grandmother was. I remember when our sister passed away, and back in those days, you know, people didn't have like insurance and stuff like that, burial insurance. So when our sister passed away, my grandmother stepped up to the plate and did what she had to do. So
She took care of it.
she did. She took care of it.
And when you back to what you were saying earlier, Mary, about her saying she wasn't afraid. She said she wasn't afraid because she had lived 70, so she wasn't afraid. So she felt like if she can make this contribution to humanity, and if she died, it would have been worth it. Because a lot of people did die.
And I tell you another thing about her as well. You know, back in those days where white people would come to her store, they respected her. You know what I'm saying? Because it was the way she carried herself. Am I right, Rosie? Those white people would come to that store. Those men would go back there and sit back there and talk to her. She had a lot of respect, and she was a no-nonsense type person, but very kind, very generous, and would help anybody. So, you know,
she kept a gun. She kept a pistol. She kept a pistol, and everybody knew it. That you were not going to mess with Rosie Steele, and you were not going to mess with her grandchildren who were working in the store.
No, they knew the distance. They knew the line. There was a line, and they knew they couldn't cross it. I remember, I tell this story. I remember one night I was staying with her, and she heard something under the house, and it was some rattlesnakes under the house. She went out there, and I'm going behind her. She had a gun. She got her gun. Went and she looked under the house, and these snakes all together there.
Yeah.
She comes to shooting, and I comes to running. Whoa! It was dark. She had her flashlight, and she pointed that light under there, and just bam, 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 shooting us.
Oh,
Yes. I
You have a picture of
ever
her?
forget that. Yeah, we have a picture of her.
Yeah, is it at your